Here they all come.
This is so exciting for everybody to be coming in here.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Hello, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, wow.
Everyone, hi, Rowena.
Hello.
It's Marcus. I got my video off. Sorry.
I'm so happy that you could make it. Marcus is the undergraduate coordinator for the sociology department at Penn, and one of the best Penn people. Of course, there are a lot of people who I would describe as one.
Her hair pasted like this.
If you are not,
Thank you for that.
if you are, and if you are not actively talking at any given moment, I would really appreciate if you could keep yourself muted, because this is a big event. Oh my goodness, we already have 37 people. This is an on-time crowd. Yes, Marcus is the best. So yes, please keep yourself muted if you are not actively speaking at a given moment. It is so wonderful to see so many of you guys from such different parts of Cosmic Writer's life. I see WordCamp instructors here. I see Cosmic Writers board members. I see Cosmic Writers donors. I see members of the various Penn communities that have given so much support to this organization. It is just such an honor to see you all here.
Are we all set? Are we ready to jump in?
I think that we are, it feels so strange to say that we're ready to begin the event at only 6:02. I feel like we should give a few more minutes for people to filter in. We were doing, before the whole gang got here, we were doing a warm-up where we popcorned to each other to use a word to describe how we were feeling today. And I think that it would be fun to do that with the whole group. So I would love it if everybody could, I would love to popcorn to Leah Baxter to start us off with how she's feeling today. And I would love her to choose someone else to popcorn to for the next few minutes while we wait for more guests.
Well, Rowan, I've heard you talk so much about this event that I've been anticipating it for a long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing your presentation and or discussion. And so I guess my feeling would be anticipation. And I'm going to popcorn to who's someone that has a camera? Jamie Lee.
I'm just hopeful. I am just hopeful. I'm going to popcorn to Philadelphia City Council member Mark Squilla. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited about being here. And I'm going to say I feel wonderful that we had this opportunity to learn about the program, and looking forward to hopefully having this activity in my district at a school close by. And I guess I'll popcorn to somebody else, but I don't know. I guess Jamie Lee, did you already do it? Okay. Who else? For some reason, I can't see who else is there.
How about Philadelphia Kappa alum Emily Mayorano?
There you go.
Hi, I'm feeling very curious because this is my first Cosmic Writers event, and as like a student in the school district and loving all the Tachyon writing community that I've discovered at Penn so far, I'm feeling just excited and curious. I will popcorn it to Devi.
Thank you, Emily. I'm also feeling very excited. It's so exciting to see how many people are here. And let's see who else has their camera on and seems attentive. I will popcorn it to Olivia.
Hi everyone. I'm just so excited to learn more about what you all have planned. So I guess excited would be my word. But I am, if I can say, I'm also just so proud, especially of Roanna, who I've known for a few years, of putting this all together, and everyone else who's part of the team. So I'll popcorn it over to Ohad.
Thank you. I think proud is absolutely the right word for it. I did not have much of a hand in putting together this event or really this organization, but seeing it all from the back is just such a awe-inspiring thing to be able to see Roanna and everybody that she was working with and everybody supporting her. It's so wonderful to see something like this erupt out of basically nothing. So from a vicarious standpoint, I'm going to say I'm proud. And I will popcorn to Manoj.
No, fair. You stole my word. I was going to say proud too. But I'll say I'm also so excited for the future. I think this is the first stage in a very ambitious team. Looking forward to growing our organization and helping our message reach a lot more people, and we cannot do it without everyone present here today. So really looking forward to the future. I'll popcorn it back to Abby.
I'm in awe of how many people have come. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this. I told Rana earlier, I've been looking forward to this all week. I'm so excited to see everyone's faces that turned out. I will popcorn to Rebecca.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm feeling very lucky. I am very lucky to be with all these people and to be working on something that I truly believe in. So.
All right, thank you all so much for setting such a wonderful, excited, hopeful tone for this event. And I think that people have about stopped trickling in. What a wonderful, wonderful turnout. Thank you all so much for coming. I think that we can begin our speakers.
Wonderful. I'll just echo what everybody's been saying. I feel excited and hopeful and enthusiastic about this incredible new project. So officially welcome everyone to the launch of Cosmic Writers. It's so good to say that. It's just wonderful to say. Welcome, welcome. We're excited you're here, that you've joined us to celebrate the first step of Cosmic Writers, a new program that aims to bring high quality, accessible creative writing education to young people in Philadelphia and soon across the country. My name is Patrick Manning, and I am so honored and proud to serve as chair of the board of directors of Cosmic Writers. Cosmic Writers was developed and founded by Roanna Miller, who I've had the privilege to work with these past few years in her capacity as an embedded writing fellow, something like an undergraduate teaching assistant in my courses here at Penn. Those who know Roanna know that she brings a dedication and enthusiasm to all of her projects, whether it's supporting writers in the classroom, tutoring writers in the Marx Family Center for Excellence in Writing, or in this new capacity as executive director and founder of Cosmic Writers. My involvement with Cosmic Writers began one afternoon early last fall. Roanna and I were holding our weekly meeting to discuss our course, the upcoming week. It was one of those beautiful sort of fall Philly days. We were outside, in person in 3 dimensions, talking about our students. And in the midst of that meeting, I received a kind of disappointing email. For a few months, I've been trying to coordinate an after-school writing program at my neighborhood public school here in South Philly. After a year of virtual learning, I could see in my own children and in their friends and in their classmates that these young people crave not only additional peer-to-peer interactions, but also additional learning opportunities or enrichment opportunities. But so this is, in that context is where, I started to try to piece together this after school writing program. But after a few months of trying to put it together with different workshop leaders, with different schedules, I received an email that more or less put the proverbial nail in that coffin. Unable to ignore that email and really my frustrations, I interrupted whatever Ryan and I were talking about and shared the news with her. Now, I was like really disappointed and pretty upset. And Miranda responded with enthusiasm and excitement, which was not what I was expecting. But that's when she shared her idea for this incredibly innovative and important program to provide high quality creative writing opportunities for young people, either in person or virtually, and to do so in a way that was accessible. She shared with me the details of WordCamp, a summer camp that she had spearheaded through the support of Kelly Writers House here at Penn. That camp had provided virtual opportunities for students to connect and be creative through that long summer of 2021, which seems like, you know, a decade ago, but was just less than a year ago. So over the course of the next few months, Miranda shared with me her vision for the program, her plans for making it a reality, and then invited me to serve on the board of directors. Miranda's enthusiasm for Cosmic Writers was infectious, and I caught it. I was thrilled to join the board and support her work to bring Cosmic Writers to life. And indeed, Cosmic Writers is certainly coming to life. This spring, with the support of Kirkbride teachers, who I see in the audience, so glad you could make it. Cosmic Writers is going to be bringing this accessible creative writing to Kirkbride School, the very same South Philly Elementary School, to offer hopefully not one, but 2 after-school programs. Creative writing opportunities have long been seen as a way to help young people develop a positive and enthusiastic relationship to writing. And that certainly remains true. That remains a cornerstone of Cosmic Writers. But in the context of our current moment, you know, here we are once again on Zoom, for example. This opportunity speaks deeply, I think, to the needs of young people. A need for connection, a need for creativity, a need for an outlet, and a need for support. As an advocate for public schools here in Philly, I am confident that Cosmic Writers provides one way, one tool that can level the playing field in a system rife with inequities. As a parent of public school children, I can see how Cosmic Writers provides an access point for students to build connections with their peers and also to be more in touch with themselves, their emotions, and their creativity. And as a writing professor, I know that Cosmic Writers can help young people develop confidence in their own ability to tell their stories and know that their stories matter. In short, Cosmic Writers has the potential to be a transformative program in the lives of many young folks here in Philly and beyond. And I'm so excited to see that so many folks are here tonight who have similarly cast their vote for Cosmic Writers and are showing their support for this new program. With that, I am beyond thrilled to introduce the brains and heart behind this entire operation, Executive Director and founder of Cosmic Writers, Miranda Miller.
Hi, everyone. Patrick, thank you so much for this lovely, lovely speech and this incredibly wonderful introduction. I'm so honored that you have introduced me with such kindness. And thank you so much to everyone else who is here right now to celebrate the launch of Cosmic Writers. This event is the culmination of a huge, huge, huge amount of hard work from so many different people, from the leadership team, Manoj, Devi, Abby, Rebecca, and from the board, Al, Jamie Lee, Patrick, Tiffany, and Ian, and from absolutely everyone who is here tonight. And I have so much appreciation for all of you. Thank you to everyone here who has donated to Cosmic Writers. And thank you most of all to everyone who has participated in our programming until this point. Thank you to all the kids, families, Penn student instructors, educators, schools, and community institutions who have come together to form the Cosmic Writers community. You are why Cosmic Writers exists.
Says mute. No.
Cosmic Writers.
Then you clicked it again.
Then it
Okay.
goes to mute.
No.
Sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties here. All right. So Cosmic Writers has been about 2 years in the making, although I did not know that 2 years ago. In April of 2020, I applied for a grant from the Penn Kelly Writers House to found a virtual creative writing camp. This was right at the beginning.
There.
And that's why I made this proposal to the Writers House. This was right when all the camps were getting canceled, and we were looking at a long stretch of summer where kids didn't have social opportunities or learning engagement opportunities. And parents were overwhelmed by needing to be on parent duty and work duty at the same time at home. And a lot of college students had lost their opportunities for internships. And so I proposed a virtual creative writing camp that would be, that would have, sorry, I'm distracted by the chat. Thank you so much to everyone who is contributing right now. So I proposed this camp as an opportunity for college students to teach classes to kids.
Unmute my audio, or you can.
I'm so sorry about this. For college students to teach classes
Rarely unmute.
to provide creative writing jobs,
Your sound up.
teaching kids skills that they would use for the rest of their lives. And then the camp happened, and it was so much more successful than I ever could have dreamed. Signups filled up on the first day that they opened. So many Penn students applied to be instructors, and a lot of them are here tonight. We had a fabulous slate of workshops that ranged from a nature writing workshop to a dystopian fiction workshop. And educators and families told me throughout the camp sign-up process and throughout the camp itself how much this program mattered to them. That was when I realized that WordCamp was not a pandemic-specific need. It was a need, period. We need more opportunities for kids to learn creative writing. What's out there right now is often expensive and or regional, and that excludes a lot of kids who would really benefit from creative writing. Because WordCamp was free and virtual, it's not limited by socioeconomic status or geographic region. And that's when I started thinking that we needed more programs like WordCamp and more WordCamp itself. So I applied to the Writers House to extend my grant for the following summer, even before I knew whether or not the pandemic would necessitate online programming. And we had another wonderful summer. We made an effort to incorporate different kinds of arts into WordCamp. Like we had a workshop that combined improv and performance art with slam poetry. And we also made sure that our programs appeal to different types of kids, offering workshops that range from sports writing to science fiction. And that summer, I realized that WordCamp was the tip of the iceberg. It is possible to do so much more to provide creative writing education to all the students who will benefit from it. The kinds of kids who we saw in WordCamp, it made it so clear how many different types of kids have wonderful experiences with creative writing programs. We saw first-generation American kids who came to the camp to gain confidence in English. We were seeing kids from rural areas who were the 1 or 2 kids from their schools who were interested in writing come to the camp and meet a community of others just like them. We were seeing kids who didn't identify as being big on school becoming some of the most active members of our workshops, because in Cosmic Writers, in WordCamp and in Cosmic Writers, writing is fun. That is what defines us. That's the power of WordCamp, and that's the power of Cosmic Writers. We help kids become passionate writers by presenting writing as the source of joy that we know it is. And when kids love writing, they develop communication and literacy skills that serve them for the rest of their lives. In today's event, you're going to see that for yourselves. First, right after I wrap up, you're all going to participate in an activity that we did in one of our WordCamp workshops last summer, which I'll tell you a bit more about in a minute. And then we're going to have the centerpiece of our event, which is readings by 4 talented word campers. That's really going to show you why Cosmic Writers matters. And as the event goes on, I would love it if you could all keep contributing to our donation link in order to show your support for us. We are so close to reaching our goal of raising $10,000 by the end of our launch. And that 10,000 is going to allow us to run not only our first set of in-person programs this spring, but a full roster of 12 WordCamp workshops in summer 2022. And so whenever you feel especially moved, I would really appreciate if you could make a donation. I imagine that you will feel most moved when you hear the kids speak. And thank you so much for posting that link, Patrick. And so I would really appreciate if you would continue to donate so that by the end of the event, we will be able to celebrate a little bit extra. We only have another 1,800 until we hit that goal. You've already raised so much, and I am so grateful for it. Because of that, everybody at the launch is going to be entered into a raffle to win a writer's basket with Cosmic Writers merch and other writing tools that you can use to have a luxurious and cozy writing experience. Everybody here has 1 raffle ticket, and then for every $5 that you donate, oh my goodness, only $16.50 to go. Oh wow, you guys are amazing. At the end of, for every $5 that you donate, you will get an additional ticket into the raffle. So that's going to be at the end. I hope you did the math right too. All right, so moving on to the next portion of our event, which is the writing activity. So this was an activity that we ran for the first time in our science fiction workshop last summer. The way that the activity goes, the word campers create a story together out loud, with each camper with one camper saying one sentence and then the next camper saying another sentence. We know how many sentences are in the story, so that, yeah, Bihana is one of our word campers. He's one of our speakers today. I'm so happy. Oh, another one of our word campers has played that before. Wow, it's almost like they all went to word camp. And so we are all going to build a story together, to practice our storytelling skills, and to give you a snapshot of what it is like to be a word camper. So I'm going to start us off with the first sentence in the story as to serve as a prompt, and then everyone in the chat that Rebecca is posting right now, everybody is going to say a sentence one after the next. So I'm going to start off our story with a sentence that is in line with the science fiction theme of the workshop that this activity was originally in. And the first sentence of the story is, "The thing wasn't a monster under the bed as much as it was a monster between the bristles of Katie's hairbrush." Kathleen Willett, whenever you're ready.
Hi, Rowena. Sorry, my daughters are eating dinner, so that's why I turned the video off. But can I get the sentence one more time?
Absolutely, and it's in the chat as well. "The thing wasn't a monster under the bed as much as it was a monster between the bristles of Katie's hairbrush."
Katie wondered how she would ever, should I write this too? Okay, nom.
It's okay, I'm recording for you.
Oh, good, thank you. Katie wondered how she would ever slay a monster this enormous.
That's a twist. All right. Stacy?
It's coming. I have to think a little bit. Is that okay?
Absolutely. The creative process can't be rushed.
But perhaps not a monster at all. Something fuzzy, like a caterpillar, perhaps, soon to be a butterfly.
Jane, what do you have to add on to that?
All right. I like where this is going. She drew she drew all the strength that she could muster, and it began radiating through her eyes.
Jake?
I'm like Stacy, I'm gonna need a minute. I'm gonna kind of type it out so that it makes this is a writing exercise, right?
Come on, let it out. When the kids do this, they go with their first instincts. And I think that
Okay.
is.
And it was then that she knew. And it was then that she knew not all monsters need be slain.
All right. And Erin O'Malley, can you wrap us up? Can you wrap up the story?
Yes. Okay, I will put this sentence that I just typed very quickly in the chat. In the end, though, it was just the dark, the shadows manipulating Katie's imagination into a story to tell her friends.
That was a fabulous ending. That's why you're a WordCamp instructor. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for participating in this exercise. I knew I kind of sprung it on you. Thank you so much. Yes, round of applause definitely for everybody who was good-natured enough to do this. Thank you. I know that this may not have been the clearest window into what it's like to be in WordCamp because you are adults. So to give you a clearer snapshot, I am so excited to introduce a two-time WordCamp instructor. First year, she taught a short story workshop. Last summer, she taught a villains workshop. Sophie Qualia.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is so wonderful to see everybody tonight, albeit virtually. I do have to say, though, that it does feel sort of apt, in a sense, to be speaking via Zoom of my experience teaching a virtual writing camp. My Wi-Fi does currently appear to be deciding whether or not to completely desert me, so I might disappear, and that will be why. So as Joanna said, my name is Sophie Qualia, and I am a senior at Penn, majoring in English and Spanish. I have worked with WordCamp for 2 summers now. From the very beginning, WordCamp has been an absolute ideal situation for me as somebody who loves both writing and working with children. My first year, I led a workshop on short stories, and this past summer, I led one on writing villains, which was really a way of disguising the fact that we were actually learning about character development. I wouldn't have previously considered myself to be somebody who necessarily sided with the villain, and yet now that I've led a camp on writing from their perspective, I have to admit that I kind of see where they're coming from. I had so much fun watching us all put ourselves into the mental space of the bad guy as we explored various famous villainous portrayals and considered plot possibilities and workshopped each other's ideas until we came together on the last day to hear the final pieces. I'm excited to share that everyone tonight will actually get to hear the work of one of the incredible writers who took my camp this summer so that you can all experience for yourself the enticement of immorality present in her work. At its core, WordCamp, and now Cosmic Writers, is an organization that deeply understands and values the importance of fun. It is about students learning to love writing in a way that is totally separate from the incredible learning that they do in the classroom, and giving children the opportunity to be creative and to have fun with writing without the looming threat of a final grade. WordCamp has, from the very first summer, been about letting kids be kids while providing a safe environment for them to grow into writers and thinkers. Both of the times that I taught WordCamp were via Zoom. You might think that maybe this would inhibit some form of community building, and yet it did the exact opposite. It opened up the opportunity for a community of students across the country to come together out of their passion for writing. It was exciting to see all of my campers use the chat box 24/7 to talk to each other about things entirely separate from what I was saying, and to offer opinions on everything, and I mean everything that I said, even what didn't appear to me to be particularly controversial. Their constant commentary created a dynamic environment where everyone felt safe to speak, and this was reflected in the commitment to the work that we did together. My campers changed their Zoom backgrounds on the first day to a picture of their favorite villain, wrote their most unexpected plot twists on the whiteboard, and went along with even my craziest free writing prompts. On the final day, they each showed up to camp dressed in costume as their favorite villain. I think this showed maybe more than anything else just how invested each and every camper was in the workshop and in each other. To show up on Zoom in a costume when you don't really know anyone else in the class is daunting, even for me as an adult. But the thing is that in only 5 days, these campers really did know each other. As a group, we learned a lot, and we had a lot of fun doing it. I am so proud of the work that they shared on their final day of camp. I am even more proud that on the last day, they wouldn't stop asking about their next opportunity to take the camp again. This is what it looks like for students to fall in love with writing and the act of growing as learners. One overwhelming lesson that I've learned from my experience with WordCamp is that children will fall in love with learning if you offer them a safe environment in which to explore. WordCamp is exactly the camp that I wish had existed when I was younger, and I'm beyond honored to be able to be a part of it now. I genuinely love working with the campers each summer. I learn from them as much as they learn from me. WordCamp is, in the truest sense, a community of learners. Thank you all once again for being here tonight, and I'm so excited for you all to hear from some of our talented campers.
Thank you so much, Sophie. That was such a wonderful, wonderful description of WordCamp, and I'm so happy that you have been teaching for us for so long. We've existed for 2 years, but I'm so glad that you've been teaching since we were born. Now, this is the part of the event that I know you have all been waiting for, hearing the WordCampers read. So we're going to run this the way that we run the last day of WordCamp workshops, in which our campers share their work. As Sophie mentioned, in WordCamp, we are big fans of the Zoom chat. And as our campers read, we want them to feel loved and supported, and to get all the compliments that you all have for them. And so they're going to be better than I am about not being distracted by the chat while they're reading. And so as they read, feel free to compliment them, to highlight any lines that you found to be especially impactful, and to let them know how much you are enjoying this. So please follow our WordCamp protocol of love and support for all of our campers, including our first camper, Villains Workshop participant, Anna Massino.
Hi. So today I'm going to be reading an excerpt of what I wrote from last summer's Villain WordCamp. So I hope you all enjoy. Shayla sprinted across the path, blonde hair tangling and whipping around in the wind. She didn't dare look behind as the angry mob of voices seemed to get closer and closer. The girl continued to run aimlessly until she came across a four-way intersection of houses. Using quick thinking, she ducked and slid into a dark corner, knees harshly scraping against the sidewalk. It took a few minutes for her to catch her breath, nervousness racking her brain and leaving her choked up. Shayla reached a hand up to her face, adjusting the piece of porcelain. No, I can't let the mask slip, she thought. The succubus has to be around here somewhere, men. Leave no stone unturned. Shayla almost gasped, but caught herself before doing so. Crap, this is bad. Trudging through the alley, she spotted a lit-up stairwell that seemed to lead up to the roof of whatever building it was. I could use the roof as a lookout. Without a second thought, she climbed. As she made it up to the second floor, she realized that this building was actually her old school. She froze. Bittersweet memories of early childhood filled her head. Memories of wanting to be a famous actress, smiling and waving as the crowd cheered for her, winning awards and finally being noticed for something. But it was all ripped away from her. No, I need to stop getting distracted. Task at hand. Pressing her tongue against the ridge of her mouth, she went back up the stairs until she finally reached the rooftop. The roof is so close. All I need to do is open the door, and she swung open the door, only to find that the mob had cut up to her first. End of the line, the leader said, clutching his weapon. This was it. Shayla's life was over, just like that. She couldn't fight them all. She was too weak, and they would surely rip her to shreds. She backed away. Well, I had a good run. This is it, I guess. She felt so defeated, like a naive little child who had just had their hopes and dreams crushed by a parent, having their whole life ripped away from them, while still being so young and having already experienced the worst that the world had to offer. All of this, she thought, as she sparred the barbed fence of the rooftop out of the corner of her eye. A light bulb went off almost instantly. Of course, she thought. Sheila giggled psychotically, the sound ringing throughout the court. She sprinted past the other humans, climbing the fence as they looked at the girl in confusion. Sorry, boys. Better luck next time, she declared. And then she fell backwards, and in the blink of an eye, she was gone. While falling, her whole life seemed to flash before her eyes, but she shut her eyes tightly instead, bracing herself for impact. All Shayla heard was the shocked screaming of the mob, but eventually all of that faded away too. It wouldn't be long before her head hit the concrete, dying in a mangled, bloody pile. Then she felt herself losing consciousness. This is it. Get ready to... However, the last thing she registered was something sweeping her up and carrying her away before she drifted off into the sweet abyss. The end. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the compliments. Oh my God.
Wow.
Thank you all. If you all want to take 1 minute, no, not 1 minute, with 5 seconds to unmute yourself and clap for Anna. All right, everyone who wants to clap, unmute yourself. 1 and mute again. All right.
Great
Anna,
job, Anna. Great job.
Unmute yourself.
All right. Thank you so much. Now for our next speaker, non-human narrators camper, Vihan Sinha.
Oh, wait, I'm muted. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. My name is Vihan, and yeah, my story, just so you know, is about a book. I'll start now. Oh, the places I have been. Oh, the people I have seen. Oh, the lamination I have been given. Oh, the dog ears I have hidden. Libraries, they force us to behold heinous damage. The injustice is vast. The injustice is gargantuan. The injustice is Herculean. The injustice is... My mental ranting is rudely interrupted by a hardcover slamming into me. Hello? Is that how you always greet people, young novel? I ask. Yeah, well, kinda. I hear it's the hot new hello from the magazines. The magazines? I fume, outraged. Yeah, dude, the magazines. The magazines? I repeat. Yeah, dude, I am not a dude, I sniff. I am a well-respected leatherbound. I can tell from the scuffed corners and jelly stains, the hardcover murmurs. Who sent you here? Oh, me? The hardcover asks. Yes, you, I hiss. Who do you think I'm talking to? Well, it was a rhetorical question. What does rhetorical mean? I mutter under my breath. Yo, what makes you think someone sent me here? The hardcover inquires. That someone has been sending books here for the past 2 weeks, I say. It really does get annoying. Now, I assume you want information about the plague? That would be rad. Now, the data, please? I hiss. Be patient. Sure, sure. He waits for about 2 seconds, then says, have I been patient long enough? I hiss again. Another 2 seconds pass. Have I been? Muttering darkly, I fan out my pages, searching for the strange embroidered sheet that Charles Dickens for some reason put in his original copy of The Tale of Two Cities, which, by the way, is me. The paper is covered in strange, indecipherable markings that historians are always happy to argue about, which is why I'm constantly subjected to many long, head-splitting, or cover-splitting hours being tossed around by furious historians. Here's the information you wanted. Totes rad! He flops around in some weird powder, his cover flashing red for a second. Hey, look! A brown-haired human exclaims. Brown hair leans down and snatches the hardcover, crowing triumphantly. But then, brown hair roars in agony. His arms smoke and the same shade of red is engulfing his body. He screams again, his eyes wide, while a malicious smile forms on the hardcover's cover. You didn't think you could get away with this? The hardcover roars mockingly in a cold, deep voice that is much older than his. Mark my words, humans everywhere shall perish. The cold voice echoes through the library, followed by a long round of mirthless laughter. The human is paralyzed, frozen in mid-scream. His form is turning ethereal. A massive tornado sucks him into the book. The hardcover falls off the bench, the brown-haired human's image displayed on one of the pages. Then the book bursts into flames. A sizzling blaze erupts in the floor, spewing scarlet like a geyser. The powder floats through the air, and it is very peaceful until it hits a book. The humans who think they own us, calling themselves librarians, topple over, yelling rude terms at nobody in particular. My binding pounds my cover, and it is all I can do not to shred myself. Of what use is it? I can't escape fire. I'm a book. I can flop around at most. Sure, I'm an antique, but sadly, this does not bestow any supernatural escape plan on me. How could I ever leave this library? I've been trying for years, and nothing happens. What makes me think that just because there is a fire, I will be able to leave? In fact, the fire should make it harder to leave. I'll just burn along with my prison. No! I flinch back, unsure where the sound came from. Don't think like that. Who are you? The voice does not take notice of me and continues. You are the tale of two cities and you will not give up. The smoke clouds the entire library and people everywhere are collapsing in coughing fits. Hold on, I'll be here soon. Yeah, that's it.
That was spectacular. I am so blown away. I read this on paper and I wanted you to read it. And hearing you read it, it was a whole other experience. All right, everyone, time to unmute for another 5 seconds to cheer for Vihan. 5,
Great job.
3,
Entertaining.
1, and mute again. All right, so introducing our fabulous next camper, one of Vihan's campmates from Non-Human Narrators, Mila Gallant.
Hello everyone, my name is Mila and today I'll be reading my story called Diary of a Barbie Pharaoh. 74 BC. Dear Diary, hi, my name is Ella. I am 4 years old and live in the Iberian desert Nile River in Egypt. I also live close to the Red Sea. The sea is not actually red, but in the barren desert, it's scorching. My mom and my older sister gave me my diary. They thought I needed to share my feelings and talk about the day with someone or something or someone. The only one in my family who loves listening to me is my older sister, Sophie. My family lives in a palace because my mom and dad are pharaohs. My sister Sophie is next in line to be a pharaoh. She always chooses the most excellent games to play. She is also an incredible problem solver, like when we got lost in the pyramid and Sophie said to touch the food and then run back to the wall. Then she said to say, I hope you have a good afterlife in food. Then we went into the hall and found a way out. Sophie said that if you wish someone a good afterlife, you will get a good sent back to you. If you didn't already know, people put out food for pharaohs who died and wished them good days in their afterlife. So if the pharaoh is hungry, they can eat. Also in Egypt, we do that for cats too. We think cats are magic animals that can help Egypt. So we honor the cats. Two, with the pharaohs. Well, it is time for me to go to bed. Good night, diary, sweet dreams. Dear diary, good morning. It is 76 BC. I am in class learning hieroglyphics. The teacher said no writing or playing during class. Oops, she saw my diary. Oh no, I will get in trouble. Ew, the markers got all over my diary. Sorry, diary. 80 BC. Dear diary, hi, it's me again. I am 10 now. My mom is letting me and my sister go to the park. It is so hot today. It is so pretty. Last time we went to the park, we saw a desert rose, a desert eagle, and lizard. 88 BC. Dear diary, I am now 18, and guess what? It is almost time for Alex to be pharaoh. Yes, I know I wrote that Sophie would be pharaoh, but she's a girl, so Alex, my brother, must be made king first. It's a rule I'm sure both Alex and Sophie will agree to change. That's it for today.
Mila, thank you so much. This was such a wonderful learning experience. We learned so much about ancient Egypt in addition to hearing your non-human narrator perspective. Everyone, please unmute to clap for Mila.
Love hearing from Barbie.
Thank you so much. And now it is time for our final WordCamp speaker of the night. Please give a big welcome to our Afrofuturism camper, Marcos Echavarria.
My story is called Ivy Brownwin versus the Suited Men. Ivy Brownwin was walking to the bus stop on a sunny, windy day in 1943. Her dark black hair flew slightly up as the wind blew. She had to walk a while to get to the bus stop from her house, so she was really thirsty. Luckily, she saw a water fountain and walked up to it as she pushed up her thin, round glasses. She was about to take a sip when a pale man with a brown suit and a black leather briefcase came up to her screaming, "Hey, are you blind? The sign says white only." Ivy got infuriated by this. She wanted to scream at this man, but she knew there would be more consequences for screaming at him than he would get for screaming at her. So she continued walking. It was another 5 blocks that she had to walk until she reached a water fountain for colored people. She read the little sign that said out of order, but she didn't care. She was incredibly thirsty, and if she didn't drink now, she would miss the bus. She drank sip after sip, each more tranquilizing than the one before. The loud blare of the bus horn made her jump 3 feet in the air, and as she jumped with fright, a glowing leaf got caught in her mouth. As Ivy descended, she accidentally swallowed it, but she didn't have time to worry about it, so she walked onto the bus and looked around. Everybody on the bus was white, and they all gave her weird stares. She found a seat in the back where no one was. After about 15 minutes of getting glares, bad whispers, and rubbing her throat because of the leaf and water mixed together, Ivy got off the bus and rapidly walked to the entrance of the park. It was a Wednesday, which meant that she taught some of the neighborhood kids how to garden. But today, when she arrived at the park, some of the men from the local office, including the man she ran into this morning, were bullying the children because of their race and poverty. This infuriated Ivy, more than she has ever gotten because of the glares, whispers, and disrespectful comments she gets every day. Her students felt like children to her, and the students felt as though she was their mom away from mom. So when they did this to them, Ivy balled up her hands into fists. Even though she had dark black skin, her face was as red as an apple, and she felt something inside of her that she had never felt before. She didn't care if she got into trouble for this. She didn't care if she died for this. She raised her hands slowly and screamed, "Stop!" The men turned around with disgusted faces, and the man with the brown suit called, "Hey guys, are you seeing this?" The little quiet Ivy finally said something, although it was a rather rude thing to say. Ivy wanted to say how it was absolutely nothing compared to the things he says to her, but she figured actions are stronger than words. She stretched out her hands and closed her eyes, focusing. She didn't know what she was doing, but it felt right. The lilies and tulips the class garden started to grow to an extreme and incredible height. Then they twisted and turned until they formed fists. Ivy suddenly opened her eyes and air punched the man in the brown suit, which made the flower fist punch the man right in the jaw, knocking him out. "Hey, this lady just knocked out Smith," one of the suited men said. "Let's get her," said another. Ivy felt amazing doing that. It was long overdue, but she didn't expect to take on all of them. 20 over 1 seemed kind of unfair, but somehow she knew she was ready for it. She lowered her hands, took her strength, and scooped her hands up as if she was scooping up invisible water, all while the suited men were running to her. Suddenly, a low, faint rumble came from the ground, but the men didn't stop running. Smooth green vines with spiky red thorns shot out of the ground, twisted around all the men's ankles, and pulled them to the ground, striking the men with their thorns in the process, which made them scream as they fell. Everyone in the vicinity had their attention on the scene, and while the men were struggling to get out, Ivy saw her children about to be attacked by the man in the brown suit, who apparently got back up. Her reflexes punched her in the gut, so she quickly made a leg out of a small birch tree her students planted years ago and struck the man with it. She thought she and her students were finally safe, but all the men got up and were about to attack. But Ivy made a series of hand motions, making the branches form a cage around them, and the leaves push multiple rocks on the wall so they wouldn't get out. Then she formed vines, without thorns this time, to mix with all the luscious, beautiful flowers, making flower crowns, which each child took. Ivy eventually let the men go, to which they responded by running away frantically. She continued to teach classes, and the students nicknamed her Ayana, an African name meaning beautiful flower or eternal blossom. Most people would use this power all the time, but Ivy only used it to help her teach her gardening classes and in emergencies. They were finally safe. The end.
Marcos, wow. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite stories that I have ever read, from a word camper or not. And I am so, so, so happy that you came to read today. Everyone, unmute yourself for one final time. Clap for Marcos. 5, 4,
Woo, great job, Marcos.
Great job.
1.
Amazing.
Woo! Yeah. All right. Thank you so, so much to all of our fantastic word campers. Thank you so much for being so courageous and sharing your writing with all of these wonderful, wonderful audience members. And I'm just so happy right now to hear you all. All right. So we are almost through the launch event. But before we finish the event, we are going to hear from another WordCamp instructor two-time WordCamp instructor and current Cosmic Writers board member, Ian McCormack.
Hello, everyone. As Rana mentioned, my name is Ian McCormack. I taught WordCamp for 2 years. And I just want to say all of those readings were fantastic. And if you didn't have a reason to support Cosmic Writers before this, I think that was the best reason we could give you right there. Yes, thank you for putting the donate in chat. I figured I would add a little bit about why I'm here, because I feel like that's the best perspective I can give as to why WordCamp is so important, Cosmic Writers is so important. And I'll share 2 little stories. The first is about Roanna, who I've known for since she was in high school, when she came up to me at a Penn accepted students event and said, "Hello, my name is Roanna. You spelled my name wrong in the email." And that was my first experience with her. And since then, I've watched her do absolutely amazing things time and time again. And every single time she has a fabulous project, like an amazing project, like she's going to just write a whole novel, or found a summer writing camp online in the middle of a pandemic, it works every single time. And when she started Cosmic Writers, or when she had the idea, we were talking about it, and I was just unrealistically optimistic. I had seen Roanna do a million things, and I just knew that this would also work out. And now sitting here, I know it is working out, and it's amazing to see. And I have nothing but hope and just belief that Cosmic Writers will continue to be an amazing program. Now, my second story is a little more about me and my involvement in Cosmic Writers, not about Roanna as just the coolest person ever, but I figured I wanted to mention that. I've been an instructor for 2 years, and I want to talk about a student I had actually in the second year. I was teaching interactive fiction, which is like choose your own adventures. That's essentially what it is. And I had one student, his name's Logan, who I still communicate with every once in a while. And every single day at the end of class, he would stick around for the entirety of our office hours. We would just chat about his story, and he was so interested in his story in a way that I couldn't even comprehend, right? Like, he had this sprawling time travel adventure involving 4 different time loops, several paradoxes. It was a perfect story for a choose your own adventure, and he was constantly working on it the whole week. It was the greatest thing he had ever written in his mind. And I think it was really inspiring to see how much you can change people as a teacher. But that experience for me made me realize the second aspect of Cosmic Writers, which is how important it is for the instructors, because teaching him and teaching all of these amazing writers, young writers who are budding into something amazing, reminded me why I loved writing and why I started writing, and why I wanted to create stories that were larger than myself, create something epic and sprawling, and just get lost in the wonder of something greater than myself. And I think in a way, Roanna has created something greater than herself with this program, and will continue, and we all will continue to help Cosmic Writers grow into something that will allow everyone to create something greater than themselves. So thank you. I hope you guys all support Cosmic Writers because it's amazing.
Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you for sharing all of these wonderful memories from WordCamp. You did not need to tell everyone that we met with me being mildly rude to you one time when I was in high school. But I guess that's why you didn't include that anecdote in the speech notes you sent me before this event. Thank you so much. Can we have another round of applause this time for all of our speakers? can everybody unmute for 5 seconds again? And then 5, 4.
Yay, great job, everyone. Unbelievable. Keep up
Thank
the
you
great
so
work,
much.
the whole team.
Yes, it is a really, really incredible team. As we wrap up, we are going to have a little bit of a chat with Manoj Simha, our Director of Finance, who is going to share with us the final number that we were able to raise, and announce the results of our raffle.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for being here. As Rowena has mentioned, in addition to the priceless advice and consistent support that we've received from our mentors, our board members, and everyone else on this call, we are eternally grateful for all the people who have donated to our cause on such short notice. We've already come so far from the very first summer camp that Rowena worked so hard to put together all those years ago. And we have incredible ambitions for where we want to go next. We want to accommodate more camps to fit more students across various times. We want to adapt and develop our curriculum to provide them to after-school programs in Philadelphia and beyond. We want to provide internet subsidies to students that may not be able to access the internet. And we want to achieve all of this with our 2 guiding principles of making our content free and accessible to everyone who needs it. And our second guiding principle of creating good paying jobs for young people who are interested in the humanities. And to fund those ambitions requires support from people like yourselves. And the fact that we were able to raise so much on such short notice is something that I'm very proud of and I'm eternally grateful for. With that in mind, with the support that we've gotten over the past few months and on this call so far, the number that we've managed to hit at this moment from support alone was $9,092. But then we're also happy to announce that we heard recently that we won a grant for $4,000, bringing the grand total of our campaign, our first ever campaign, to $13,092 and counting. Thank you again. That's an incredible thing to think about given where we started just a few months ago. And it's going to go directly towards bringing more programming to people and the students that you saw on this call. And as a small token of our appreciation, everyone that's on the invite list and was able to make it to the call today was automatically enrolled in a raffle for a gift hamper that we've mentioned before. So I'll be running that list right now and let's see who wins.
We show people what it looks like.
Unfortunately,
I think we could.
I think we could, but it's not the greatest graphic. It's just an online raffle picker. But I'm happy to announce that we do have a winner. Rowena, if you want to unmute and have a drum roll really quick.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone, drum roll. 5.
Okay, and the winner is Stacy Kastner. Do we have Stacy on the call with us?
You do. Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Stacy, we will talk to you later about transporting the basket to you. Thank you so much for your donation and thank you so much for coming to this event. And Manoj, thank you so much for announcing our grand total and delivering the winner of our raffle. Now, I am just going to say a couple words to wrap up. We are so as Manoj mentioned, there is a lot that we have to look forward to. And as Patrick mentioned in his initial speech, one of those things is a partnership with the Kirkbride School in South Philadelphia, where we will be running 2 programs this spring, one for middle schoolers and one for elementary schoolers. These are going to be after school programs where our instructors will be coming in person and then working with kids in a similar format to WordCamp, but instead of being virtually every day for a week, it's going to be in person once a week, every week for a month. We're also really, really thrilled to be working with the Walnut West Library. It's one of the libraries within the Philadelphia Free Library public library system. And we're going to be running another after-school workshop with them this spring. We're also looking forward to having an expanded version of WordCamp this summer, our first independently run version, where we will, at the request of some of our WordCampers who have aged out of the middle school camps, be adding high school workshops for the first time. And we are also going to be adding new high school positions, new positions for high schoolers called junior instructor positions, where high schoolers can apply to essentially TA or be the teaching assistants of workshops for elementary and middle school middle school groups. We absolutely cannot wait to be sharing more with you. If you would like to stay in the loop, please sign up on our website to receive our newsletter going forward, and you will be hearing all of the cool new stuff that Cosmic Writers is up to. Thank you again for attending this event. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. And thank you for being the kind of community that we are so honored to be a part of.
Great job, everybody. Looking forward to working with you all.
Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you.
I think 5 seconds of applause can be given to Roanna if anyone would like to.
Great job, Roanna.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rebecca. And Marcus. Feel free to filter out. Feel free to stick around if you have questions. Sajan, I see you have your hand raised. If you have a question, feel free to leave it in the chat. Otherwise, the event is over. Stick around and hang out if you would like to talk some more about Cosmic Writers and potentially how you or your school or community can get involved.
Hi. Can I say something really quickly?
Absolutely.
So first of all, I just really want to congratulate you on this amazing event. And for everyone that is not aware, I got to talk to Roanna before, but I'm a reporter from the Daily Pennsylvanian, and which is an independent school newspaper for the University of Pennsylvania. And I was wondering if I could get just like a really quick screenshot of people who are willing or okay with that, just for like a quick picture for the article maybe. So if you are not comfortable with that, feel free to turn off your camera. But if not, I would love to take a screenshot if possible.
I would love that too. I definitely should have thought of that before. Thank you very much for doing this, because I will certainly want a memory of this event.
Yeah, no worries. But if you could, so if we could be on gallery mode, I guess, then that would be great without the pinned speakers. Okay, wait, okay. So I will just I'll just turn off my camera because I'm not in Cosmic Writers, but okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much. That's all I needed. And congratulations again for raising so much money, and I was really inspired from this event.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for coming, and thank you for writing about us. People who are still hanging out, got anything to say? I would love to hear your reactions.
I could say something, but really all that I would need to express it does not require words. This was such an amazing event, and y'all have done so good and have been doing so good for so long. When I hear about it through Roanna, y'all are amazing, and this is amazing. I'm so excited to hear more about it over time.
You're very, very nice to me, Leah Baxter, as you are always. if people are hanging out just because they feel weird leaving, I think that, oh, thank you. That's Lawrence Miller, but I am 90% sure. Lawrence Miller is my dad. I'm 90% sure that my mom wrote that particular comment because that sounds like her. I'm very, very happy that they are here. Does anybody else have any closing words before I end the Zoom?
Just say brilliant, Miranda. This was incredible. You know, it's just so moving to be a part of, really. So thank you. Let's go have some champagne or something, like by ourselves. All right, I'll see you.
See you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Board leadership team, Leah, Dr. Jacobs, my parents. I'm very, very happy right now. And I am so, so lucky to have all of you guys. Oh, Manoj, you're wearing your t-shirt under your blazer. I didn't see that until now.
Of course, all day.
You're so right. All right. I'm going to end the Zoom now. Actually, Ohad's going to end the Zoom because he's the one who's in charge of the technology.